Welcome everyone to the stream. Welcome to session 16 of the Seregen campaign. I, of course, am the Wombat of DM. And before me, I have our beloved characters, Belzian the Half-Elf Monk, Roger the Elf Rogue, Ulrich the Human Paladin. Gone but not forgotten is Yarvik the Halfling Ranger. But with us we do have Zippo the Kobold Warlock, and Jordan the Human Bard. For the first time, I didn't slur or mess up his name, so that's always good. And we are in, as I said, session 16. We have arrived at the capital of Seregen. Yo! Atomic, thank you for the subscription. For the rest of the players who didn't hear that, they just hear me randomly burst out in yo. Yeah, almost a full baby. 6 months of subscription. I appreciate it, man. So, yeah. Well, I mean, you're a baby kobold for sure, right? like, so yeah, you guys are in the capital. You spent a few days traveling here and avoided a encounter of some sort. Some of you figured out what it was, some of you did not. But ultimately, we're here in the capital. You met a variety of folk, whether it be Clark the Clerk or Carl the Magician, or some sort of water creature that is within one of the fountains in the city. But anywho, you have some fish to fry. I know Yarvik, Roger, and Ulrich spend a good bit of time sifting through the ledgers of the city for evidence that Shadow might have come in. They found 3 potential people that may match his description if he passed through the main entrance. And then ultimately we have a whole city to explore with much to do and many things to see. As a reminder, whatever the plot on the King is, it's set to happen tomorrow, the 15th. It is currently the 14th. Because you found out about it the 5 days beforehand, but one of those days was almost spent when you found out about it, so it was really more like 4.5 or so. My cat wants out now, so that ends the summary. Go ahead and discuss amongst yourselves what your next steps are. I'll be right back. Yeah, I know. It's a big summary, right? Oh my. She's yours again. She's out. Womp womp. I think if you ask the drinking age of a female water elemental, she'll be pretty offended. Um, okay, so we know what Zippo's motivations are for the session today. Um, let's see. There was one other thing I wanted to mention, and I think you guys were talking about it, and it is that you were Yarvik, Ulrich, and Roger each got a list of 20 or so taverns that are in the city, of which they were discussing the best names of and whatnot. It sounds like there is not going to be method to the madness. Just that tavern sounds really funny or interesting, so we got to go there. And for those of you who are in chat, I'm just posting all of the different pubs with no rhyme or reason. So enjoy all those names. Yeah, there may be. Not intentionally, but... The Eastern Gate? Hey, I corrected somebody on a direction for once. Yes. Do I get an inspiration? No, I'm giving Jordan an inspiration for me remembering that. um uh that correct. Yeah, and as I mentioned last time, and when we entered the city, I said the only entrance is within that eastern gate there. There's an indoor and an outdoor, and guards are guarding both. I guess the other thing is that you guys are waiting for Marius, the captain of the guard, to return. He was escorting a prisoner from the castle to the high security prison Breakwater over on the southern side of the city, the left hand side. So there is that as well. Yeah, and I mean Yarvik, when you kind of say this, says he wouldn't mind splitting up and tackling some of the taverns while you tackle other of the taverns to cover more ground. I can't make any promises. Fair, but I swear by the 12 that if I see some duck sausage, I'm going for it. Why don't you start with the highs? Lows seem more my speed. I'm kind of a wilderness fellow, you know. I'm not really used to people, so high class people just doesn't seem like something that I'd be good at. I'm sorry, what was that? I mean, we do have these rings, don't we? So, let me know when you want to meet up and where, and I'll try and find my way there, I guess. It's a mechanical bird that basically gives you a -2 to your stealth checks. Because when it's wound and working, it basically pecks and tweets incessantly. Let's say it. Let's do a nature check for that one. Okay. Yeah, let's do. Oh, okay. If Brunhild's doing it, does Brunhild have? Does do dogs have a track ability? Okay. Have Brunhild do a perception check on the pool of water, I suppose. Okay. Interesting. All right, so we've got a lot going on here. I purposefully separated Yarvik to if Yarvik wants to have his own adventure as a one-off, a one-on-one, I can do that. Um, but basically, if Zippo goes to find Yarvik, he's probably not going to find him unless he actively searches it out. And I'm kind of the way I'm tracking Zippo. Zippo is going to agree to whatever you tell him to do, but then do his own thing anyway. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna go look for Yarvik, and then immediately starts tracking the water elemental. So he'll probably never get to Yarvik. Roger is going to go to the highs. Zippo is going to be exploring the city. Jordan is somewhere. Yarvik is somewhere. Belzian, what are you up to? Are you going to be going with Zippo, or are you going to be doing something else? Okay. And then Ulrich is going to be waiting for the captain to arrive. That's everyone, right? Ooh. I have one more cat visitor. I'll be right back. It's like a highway in here for you cats. Come on in. Come on. Oh, you're playing this game, huh? I got him. You go chat with him. The one that you suggested? You'll have to tell me about it. What was it called? I didn't actually see what the name was. Because you didn't tag it, did you? Okay. Can you remind me after, or like send me a message and I'll check it after D&D? Okay, thank you. I have returned. What did I miss? Good to know. Good to know. Oh, jeez. Oops. All right, so let's roll initiative and see who's going first. All right, so it's going to be Roger, and then I'm going to go with Ulrich since there's a tie, and then Zippo and Belzian. Zippo brought you down, Belzian. Otherwise, you would have gone first. All right, so um, are you two fighting? Please do not. Ask. I didn't tell you to roll initiative. Get in here. All right, Roger. So you are going up to the upper echelons of Seregen's capital, Jane. I guess what is your thought process here? Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry. My cats are so distracting right now. Give me 1 second. You cats. I can't wait to see what it looks like. Yeah. That's so cool. Okay. I see Amethyst twirling his mustache. He's trying to look the part, I see, right? Is that what I'm picking up? So are you going to dress, change, or do anything differently, or are you just going to have an air about you? Okay. Where are you changing? Would you have changed before leaving the barracks? Okay. I'll say you find a place where you can discreetly do so, since you have connections there at least. Do you have fancier clothes? Like, what do you got? So you gray your temples, or like? Yeah, we're a party on the smaller side with Ulrich kind of towering above us. Oh, okay. So Belzian and Ulrich towering above us because Jordan's on the short side as well. Jordan's like 5'8". That's true. You could do that too. Um, Probably like 15 or 20 gold. Okay. Which district do you wish to shop at for this? Yeah, I mean, silver, gold are probably your best bet. One of those. Okay. Um, it's going to cost you 25 GP for that then. Um, so the individual that is servicing you doesn't have anything just off the rack for you to buy. Um, for the outfit that you're ordering, he'd be measuring you and custom making it to fit you. It would take somewhere around 2-3 hours, but that's pretty quick for tailoring. You could also wait there, and we could go to a different group. Correct. Okay. All right. So you go up to the gold district. Describe what your fine clothes are going to look like. Like, what do you want them to be? Because at 25 gold, you pick out the fabric, the coloring, the cut, and tailor. This is so foreign to your character. Okay, I like it. And so you want gentlemen's clothes. So gentlemen's clothes are cut in such a way that a sword can be worn without interrupting the garb, without it there's like a slit in it where the sword can go, so it won't crease or mess up the clothes in a way. There's also generally a few different cuts depending on how you wish to wear your sword that are socially acceptable. So whether it be a side cut, left or right, or a back cut where it's hemmed fabric that kind of the sheath can go into your back. Yeah, that's the common way. Okay. Did you mention a color? Did I miss that? Okay. Okay. By the way, the shop's name is Finest Fineries. They give you a receipt, and you'll need the receipt in order to claim your item. He puts your name on it. Okay. Copper District. I'll say this: it looks a lot more organized, row-wise, than the Lowe's or Foreign's is. Foreign's is kind of bare in terms of like, and you can see this on the map, right? There's a lot more open space in that district, mainly because it's not just used for city life, but also for military and whatnot. So, to make those ballistas be transportable or replaced or worked on, you need a little bit more open space, things like that. The barracks, yeah, so whereas the Copper District is where it's kind of like the middle class district of the city, where I would say anyone who's not noble or related to nobles or extremely destitute would live. So it's the most residential area, which is also why it has so many taverns in it. I would say that the Lowe's definitely has quite a population as well, but you see what I'm saying. Between the Lowe's and the Copper District, they're about equal in terms of population, and you can see that on the map. There's quite a lot of buildings, right? All of the taverns are clearly marked, so they're not clearly marked on the map, but you'll be able to find them pretty easily. So it's a matter of deciding which ones you'd like to go to. So you have the Broken Gate, the Fancy Troll, the Cruel Frog, and Patty's. Okay. And I guess it's good going into this knowing what your intention is. I know you're looking for Shadow, but we obviously didn't find him by Shadow. Are you going to be asking after him based off of the names that you found in the ledger? Are you looking also for a description, like what's your plan, order of attack? Okay. Okay. So the Cruel Frog's symbol is a frog that's behind another frog, and its tongue is piercing the frog in front of it through the heart. You go in, and it's a A basic tavern. It is mid-afternoon at this point, so there's not too many patrons in it. Just your usual sort, who have either been nursing a cup since noon, or are getting a late lunch, or there are some people that may be just staying at the place. But either way, it's not very busy at the moment. Um, the tavern owner, if one could describe a person as a frog, she is the opposite of that. She doesn't look like a frog at all. I don't know why I even started that sentence that way, but she just looks like a normal half elf. A bird. Mm. You order a drink and you're served with some grog. Duly noted. Oh. Got any more than that, sugar? I think your first one cut off, but I assume you said um, Bert. Yeah. She thinks for a moment and shakes her head and, nah, I haven't seen or heard of anyone by that name. By those names. Yeah, you can do like a perception check just to see if you see anything out of the ordinary, or when you mention those names, if anybody reacts or anything like that. Okay. Also, guys, I appreciate when you say your rolls out loud, because our audience can't actually see your rolls anymore. So this is a great way for them to know. So great job. I appreciate it. I mean, an 8 plus 10 is, or 10 plus 8 is pretty good. That's it. It's middling. That's the word, middling. But you're also in the average district, so it works. Negative. Seems like a normal bar. People kind of minding their own business. The grog wasn't great. Probably not the best tasting liquid you've put in your mouth, but it was certainly better than the water that they served at the last tavern you were at. Mm-hmm. All right, where to next? And we'll do one more for you, and then we're gonna move on to somebody else. Okay. Um, Patty's has on its insignia a four-leaf clover hung on a wooden sign. Um, the glass is tinted, and there's a sign up that says "closed" on it. The door swings open as you knock on it, as in like it's a swinging door. It seems to be functioning normally inside, yes. Despite the sign, yes. Okay. Inside there's a man and a woman tending the bar. One is brown haired, the other is blonde. They appear to be related, brother and sisters. Um, there's a few people sipping beverages. It's also fairly empty in this bar. What do you order? Um, Without really acknowledging you, it seems like the man and the woman are in quite a conversation with each other. She kind of plops the beer down in front of you and continues discussing things with him. Um, from what you can tell, a friend of theirs is involved in some pyramid scheme of some sort that is losing them all money. And one is arguing in favor of it, and the other is arguing against it. Do you actually ask them that? No, they don't. I'm just saying, based off of the description that you overhear, it sounds like uh, uh, you've been involved yourself as a rogue in probably a scheme to get rich quick in terms of getting convincing people to give you money with no intention of giving them money back. Um, they both kind of continue talking over you and don't even acknowledge your question. Service here isn't great. You see that there's a shorter, maybe a halfling, playing billiards at the back of the bar, um, with a someone that looks part troll, maybe, um, and then just two other people drinking at a table. Not really even talking to each other, just kind of drinking. Okay. Um, as a matter of fact, they do know they have a friend who has red hair. He was recently injured, and had walks around on two crutches consistently. They kind of laugh and say, "Oh no, it was hilarious how he injured himself. He was trying to balance on one of the parapets on the Kappa district, and he fell off. He landed on a roof, rolled, and well, now he's all rickety." Yeah, this is the troll talking, by the way. Or part troll. Well, uh, his his name was Matthew, but we just call him Rickety now. Oh, you're paying their tab too. um, he's like, "Oh, I'm part owner," uh, and he if you're paying for his tab, he's like, you don't need to pay for me. I drink for free." Him, on the other hand, and he gestures to his friend, he's like, "He owes me quite a bit." Uh, and he's like, "Oh, you're willing to pay for me?" Okay, so about the same as the other place. All right. So you pay up, and you leave that filthy place goodbye. All right. So that brings us to Ulrich. Um, Ulrich, so you're waiting for the captain of the guard. Um, I'm going to say after about a half an hour, Marius shows up with 4 other guards. He kind of walks into the area, and people kind of move up to him and begin, relaying things that they need to give him for information, and he's giving instructions and whatnot. Okay. After about 15 minutes of discussing things and signing a few papers and looking over some charts and things of that nature, he kind of dusts his hands off, and one of the officers actually points you out to him. One of the gentlemen that you talked to earlier looking for him, and he walks up to you. "Ulrich, it's been quite some time." Somewhere about that. What can I do for you? What's this about, Ulrich? All right, let's go to my office. And he leads you to one of the one of the rooms in this far corner here. Uh, you'll note that this building is directly adjacent to the where Breakwater would be in the Copper District. Yeah, he brings you to his office. It looks like he doesn't use it much. He kind of moves some papers out of one of the chairs and has you take a seat. And goes from there. Sits across from you at his desk. Well, I served under our current king. Let's just put it this way: would King Gareth put anyone else as the put someone who did not serve under him, even if they did swear fealty after the war? No offense. So he doesn't make much of a reaction. He furrows his brow a little bit further, but he doesn't seem quite as surprised as you anticipated for someone to say the king is in danger. Ulrich, I know you haven't been in the city for a time, for 6 months or so, but, well, to put it frankly, this isn't new news. It seems like at least once every 2 months there's some plot against the king. It's why the king doesn't actually come out of the castle anymore. He serves his role from inside. He hasn't made travel to any of the cities in the continent for quite some time. It's just too dangerous. So tell me, what have you discovered? I would say care is the biggest thing, or maybe even like matter of factly, as if he had a hand in making this the reason, or making this so. It's a lot easier for Marius to do his job if the king is behind thick walls. May I see them? So by schematics, you mean the maps of the castle and the guard rotations? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Let's do a I guess it would be either perception or insight. Probably perception, right? Works for me. Okay. So he takes each thing, and as he's finishing one, he'll hand it back to you, and then you hand him the next thing, and so on. Um, he notes. He furrows his brow when he's looking at the maps of the castle because they're. He comments that they're pretty accurate depictions, um, and they accommodate changes that have been made recently to some of the king's apartments, like some walls that have been knocked out to accommodate a new area and some other things of that nature. So the floor plan is very recent, like within the last month. He kind of gets pretty annoyed when you give him the guard rotations times because that's something that he only keeps with his higher officers, and he changes it rather often, and it shows the pattern of that change, not just the change. So he kind of looks quite frustrated here. And I mean, if he's developed this pattern, it's for this reason, so that the cipher has been deciphered. Is basically what, like, all that work's just gone to waste. The page with the scepter on it, he doesn't really have much of a reaction after the other two things. It just seems like it's a picture of the scepter and something about the wall. He's not really as interested in that. Kind of just shrugs it off. So, what do you think all of this means? Did you have any plan of or motive, or were you able to question any of the people that you got this information from, or what can you tell me about all of these things put together? Both Benjamin and Gerard. Shades. Now that is a name I've heard of. They've, they've claimed to be the direct enemies and opposites of the Flames of Jane, the King's organization. I believe you work with them to some capacity. Well, this is a more recent proclamation. It within the last week or so, they've gone public. No actual dissident leader. More just notes in the dark, the cowards that they are. I've been hearing reports of bandits in multiple areas of the kingdom, even along the King's Road, but we figured it would be best to keep our forces here, especially with the threats that have been on the King's life in the past and them going public with this proclamation. We've even moved some of the prisoners out of the palace and into Breakwater. That would normally not be in high security prison, but just in case we need the cells. How do I put this? I will find them all. You don't need to concern yourself with that. I will find my man. And he looks very sure of this fact. And he thinks it over and he says, New Pod is at a crossroads with the King's Road and the East Road. You remember the war, right? You remember why... you know what I mean. You remember why Gerard lost. It's because Gareth held the city. And Gerard had no hope of taking this place. Nor do the Shades of Retribution. If I were thinking like the opposition, I wouldn't attack the city directly. I'd starve it. Their plan must be to stop trade from making it here. That's why they're trying to take that town. He begins cursing, and he says, I told Gareth that we needed to patrol these roads more, that we needed to invest more in the infrastructure. One thing after another. He just kind of he's not disenchanted, he's just frustrated. The plot on the king. The plot on the king. Perhaps. Water supplies, maybe. Hmm. Somewhat. No. Uh, I mean, some of the fountains are constructed in a way to flow the way they do, but ultimately, the way they draw water from the springs in the mountain, that's natural. They're just directed. There are sewers beneath the city that drain out to the river that runs down south, but hmm, interesting. I'll have some of my soldiers go and kill the elemental. We'll take care of it. Thank you. I'll give you till the end of day. If it if it wreaks havoc on the city, I'm holding you accountable, Ulrich. We've been having quite an influx of kobolds lately. Um, there's quite a few of them in the city now. Oh, I didn't mean that they were up for grabs. I just was just commenting that there are. You'll forgive me. There's just. Do you know? Do you know the timing or anything more about the plot that's supposedly happening tomorrow? How did you know this date? And he looks at the papers and he doesn't see anything on there noting such. Yeah, it was kind of, there was a number and you extrapolated that it meant a date. So I guess you point that out and show him. Okay. Um, Interesting. So, and really the notes don't really say anything about, they don't even really say that their outright plan is to kill the king. There's just maps of specific areas, and then the scepter, and that's about it. It's like, so we really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Of I assume you tell him the date, the 11th. See, if I were to be masquerading as a person, I wouldn't choose any of those names. Those seem quite unique, memorable names. This couldn't have come at a worse time. The king is throwing a celebration tomorrow. Might be why they're planning it tomorrow. Well, it's the anniversary of the winning of the war tomorrow. Well, if it was for the name of one of his brothers, I couldn't think of a better time. That's why we have got security as high as it is right now. Apparently, it's not enough. We're going to tighten security on the castle. Do you trust your companions? Roger, what's his name? Can't remember a man named Roger Mays, no. Hmm. Mm. And anyone else? Hmm. This is the kobold that wishes to befriend the water spirit. And are there any others? And he's writing down each of these. No, half elf. Mm-hmm. Yep. Give me a bluff check or uh, uh, what is a bluff check? A deception check? Yeah. 17? All right. Uh, that would be a good time to pull out my dice. We haven't really had to roll much this session, which is kind of cool. I like sessions like that sometimes. Um, and their names, he says flatly. How do you spell Mary? Are the other ones... Are the other ones spelled similarly? All right, so I've made note. Interesting. I've made note of you and your compatriots. I may call of need of you, but what I ask is that while I'm securing certain things and investigating my own group, that you don't leave the city until, well, after tomorrow happens. And I may call of need for you to assist in whatever way you can. I'm not sure yet, and I'm sure you have your own ideas and own devices to use with your connections with the Flames of Jane. I'm sure that you've already told them, so I don't need to inform them myself. And, we'll pray to the 12 that we are able to succeed in apprehending this fellow. So, what is his true name, if none of those three are his actual name? That doesn't sound like a real name either now. But, more real than Bert Chesk. He kind of spits out. Almost sounds like burnt chest. Which is what I'll do with him if I find him. Remove that shadow with some light. Um, he asks you to describe him in a little bit more detail, and he takes notes of those things. Whatever physical characteristics you can give, and he uh, be, basically gives you the idea that he's going to put up some have you seen this person of interest papers throughout the city and things like that. What? How do you know he can? What can he do to change his appearance? That might be helpful too. Yeah, the changeling's dead. Well, the doppelganger changeling's different. So basically, you failed your insight check on the changeling and got kind of doubled down on that idea, or Ulrich did, and that's perfectly fair. And I love it. It's actually just a nice, interesting thing. Nothing to be embarrassed about. There was a lot going on in that fight, so it's perfectly reasonable that you'd think that. Yeah. What you do know about Shadow is he can he phased and appeared elsewhere, and could create a orb of shadow, like yeah. Good to know. I like it. I'm not going to confirm or deny anything about Shadow, because obviously you don't know a lot about him. But yeah, that's perfectly a fair assumption. And there are plenty of ways to disguise yourself, so that's why he was asking for a specific way. All right. But I need to tell people. The only problem is if I keep it from the public and I keep it from my officers because we have a mole, then I'm afraid that not showing my hand is as bad as showing it. I'll alert the castle guard, and work from there. If I can't trust the guards in the castle, then this is all lost already. Well, whatever happens tomorrow, Ulrich, I'm relying on you to be of service to your king and to your country. Uh, Please let me know if there is anything else that you find out today, tomorrow, at any point. You'll be able to reach me here. All right. So with that, we're gonna go to Belzian and Zippo, and I'm sorry it took so long to get to both of you. And I'm going to extend that just a little bit longer because it is 9. So let's do our 10-minute break now. It's a good stopping point, and then we will make the Belzian and Zippo show happen. All right. All right, we'll be right back, guys. Welcome back from the break, everyone. Sorry for the extended one. The Spider-Man trailer came out, and we really wanted to just take a look at that real quick. So we did so, and now we're back. So if you haven't seen that, feel free to pop out and do that. We understand. But in the meantime, we're going to get back to it. Belzian and Zippo have been waiting patiently for their turn at, I guess, their second romp around the city. So I leave it in their good hands. So Belzian and Zippo, you were last left at the fountains in Foreign's district, correct?
Yeah, we had Brunhild try to sniff out and see if she could smell like a certain smell of the water elemental, so we could track it down.
Did it just smell like water?
Well, I figured it was like a sentient like being. It might have something that sets it off smell wise.
Something sprightly.
And you got a 17, correct? A 14 plus 3 for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we recently had communications via our rings, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Did we share like a good amount of information, like the potential shadow aliases, or is that just unknown to us at the moment?
I think they shared the potential aliases and also said to Zippo to explore the taverns on the Low District with Yarvik.
Yeah, just assume anything they told us was only heard by Belzian, because Zippo full intention on finding this water elemental.
Yeah, Belzian's just staring at Zippo, speaking gibberish to a fountain.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you okay there, friend?
Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot you can't speak primordial. Anyway, so there's a water elemental stuck in here, half of it. We have to find the other half. If we don't find the other half before it gets out of the fountain, the city's going to be in trouble. I'm trying to have Brunhild sniff and see if she can smell it, maybe to track it, but I'm not really sure if that plan's going to work right now. So, yeah. I know they were saying something on the rings. Something about bars and Lowe's district. So if you need to search that, that's cool. I'm going to go look for this.
Okay.
So Broomhild sniffs at the water and then kind of starts licking at the pool of water.
Are you drinking the water elemental, Brunhild?
When the water elemental kind of pulled back into the center of it and got a kind of a darker, cloudier color when it said the last bit. So it hasn't really been answering any more questions since it retracted from last session.
Okay. So I'm going to guess that she didn't get a smell of it.
I mean, she kind of circles around the pool, but she doesn't lead you off anywhere.
Dang. That made this a lot harder than I was expecting it to be.
If you were a half of a water elemental, where would you go?
Well, I didn't get the choice of going anywhere. I got taken.
Oh. Who would take a water elemental? Someone really thirsty?
I don't know, but if we find them, they may have to die.
She might, so you don't really know how this whole tracking ability works with dogs since you've never had one before. But typically, you you know that humans smell a little bit strangely to you, being a kobold. You know that they kind of leave a trail of scent from where they're traveling. Water is a little bit different of a story. You know what I mean? Like you can smell water, and like you can smell other water and be like, oh, that water smells like this water. Or, this water doesn't smell like that water. You know what I mean? It's less of a tracking type of thing, right? So that's the only thing that I can give you there. So, in other words, she might be able to recognize more water elemental should you place it in front of her, but she probably won't be able to lead you to it.
Okay. With that knowledge, I'm gonna assume the water elemental won't talk to me anymore. Like if I ask it another question, I was gonna ask it if it has like a general sense of where its other self is, or like something that can help me identify the person who took it.
Are you trying to convince it to talk to you again?
Yeah.
All right. What are you doing to do so?
I'm going to jump into the thing.
Into the fountain?
The fountain, yeah. And Zippo's going to sit down. If he sits down, is it going to cover his whole body?
It's about a foot deep.
Okay, so I won't cover it. Okay, he'll sit down in the pool and be like, so I have to have help trying to find you. Like, can you give me like a hint of what the person looked, smelled, sounded like? If you have a general sense of where your other self might be, or if you have a way to tell me how they took the other half of you.
The pool remains dark and cloudy. The spirit is obviously upset at this point. Not by anything you really did, just kind of in that emotion.
Dang. Okay. Then I will get out of the pool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so using Zippo knowledge and the gist of stuff he heard from them, he's going to go to the bars on this district first.
Okay.
Whatever one is the closest one.
We got the list of pubs that are in the Foreign's district.
Correct.
Yeah. Let me find that.
So Foreign's has Pub's Pub, the Ledger, Four Hounds Tavern, and the Barefoot Bottle.
We're going to Four Hounds Tavern first.
I figured
you just
might.
because there's a dog on the picture.
Yes.
So Four Hounds Tavern is actually in the same quadrant as you are in. So it's like in the same area that this fountain is in. It's actually if you had looked around this area, you probably would have seen the sign with the four dogs on it. It's four dogs that are kind of you're seeing them from above, and it's like a circle of four dogs, tail to head, tail to head, tail to head, tail to head.
Are they all smelling each other's butts?
That's kind of what it looks like, but it's not. I don't think the owner intended it to be depicted that way, if that makes sense. They're just trying to fit four dogs in a diamond shape, and you automatically, as probably many patrons have, like, oh, those four dogs are smelling each other's butts.
That's how they say hello.
It's you gotta hire good advertisers, right? Like graphic artists are a thing that need to be employed, or things like this happen.
Fair. Okay, so
I wonder if this is where the brown nosers hang.
Let's hope it's a one-stop shop for us. I will go into the bar.
All right. So inside the bar is an Aarakocra, or what's it called? The bird person. Is that pronounced the right way?
I think so.
Yeah, Aarakocra.
Okay, so a bird folk is tending the bar. and sitting at the bar adjacent to them is a kobold.
I'm gonna walk right back out of the bar.
Okay.
Where are you going?
Take Bryn in there. She knows the smell of it. Take her with you. And then I look to Bryn and be like, try to smell the water you smelled earlier. And then I'll release her to the bar with Billsy.
All right, Belzin, you've just been shoved into the bar with Broomhild, your not dog. The bar is fairly empty. Similar description to Roger's. More variety of different races here on this level. Hence the Aarakocra and the Kobold.
Okay. Belzian shouts, "It's okay to have dogs in here, right?" And goes to the bartender to order a fruit juice.
The bartender says, ironically, it is not okay to have dogs in the bar.
Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that. Good thing it's not my dog. It just happened to come in at the same time as me.
Broomhild begins sniffing around the bar. The Aarakocra, the bird person, serves you some fruited beverage. It's not a fruit punch. It's more like water with spritz of lemon, or some sort of citrus. Probably not lemon, since lemon's a man-made fruit from Earth. But it's a citrus of some sort. When life gives you lemons, really is not a good thing, because life didn't give us lemons, we did. And the more you know. Anyway, so Broomhild begins sniffing around the bar, and eventually the bartender kind of gets out from behind the bar and kind of like flaps Broomhild out of the bar.
Oh, what kind of bar is this? Is this where the thugs and/or criminals hang out?
The bird person cocks her head at you and says, "What kind of person are you?"
Oh, I am a monk from the sanctum near Ari, here on official business. There are some people who, believe it or not, would take out library books and not return them in a timely fashion. Criminals, scum of the earth, really. I'm here to look for a few.
Well, if you're looking for people who frequent the library, you best look at the castle. That's where the Royal Library is. I mainly have workers here on the Forens District that frequent my bar.
Noted. Are any of these so-called workers named something like Bert Chesk, or one Montgomery Daytaker, even a Kippy New?
Can't say I do.
Very mysterious. The most delinquent book taker of all is a strange man with bright orange hair. Seen any humans like that? And I think my mic.
No, I hear you.
Oh, my camera broke. Oh, we're back. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yay! Yeah, inquire about Shadow.
Yeah, the Aarakocra doesn't seem to be forthcoming with much knowledge, but doesn't really recognize any of the descriptions that you've been giving.
Well, my travels must continue, it seems. Belzian leaves an entire gold piece and doesn't even drink his juice, just leaves.
Okay.
Thank you, bird person.
When Bertold comes out, does she do I get the sense that she smelt it in there, or no? Like, is she doing the
Brunhild
excited
looks a
wiggle
little
dance?
wounded that she was sussed out of the bar.
I'll pat her on the head. It's okay, Brunhild. Whenever we take over the city, I'll burn this place down first. And then I will, I guess, hop back on her saddle, which is always on her, and then go to the next bar. Let's see what name we're looking at.
Well, that was the Four Hounds. Which one?
I know I was really expecting a lot out of that one, to be honest, but it didn't work. So we'll go to the Barefoot Bottle.
Okay, the Barefoot Bottle is in the adjacent. In fact, it's directly. So, going to roll 20. Four Hounds Tavern is here. Barefoot Bottle is directly opposite in the other. I keep looking for a word. Square. There we go. The directly opposing town square.
Gotcha. That works for me. We'll head over there and open the door.
Okay. Can you give me a perception check, please, Zippo?
Yes, sir. As soon as I can click on it. There we go. Oh, that's hot. Got a 5.
Moving on. So you enter the the Barefoot Bottle. So the sign on the door of the Barefoot Bottle says "No shoes, some service" on it.
Nice. This is a respectable establishment, I can see.
Interesting name.
When we open it, is there any kobolds inside?
No, not that you can see.
Alright, then I will go in.
All right. So the first thing you notice is that nobody is wearing shoes in this establishment.
I don't like shoes either.
Yeah. Do you even wear shoes, Zippo?
Are you wearing shoes?
I mean, I don't assume Zippo would. Not unless they're like magic. So yeah, no. If they're just regular shoes, he's kicking them off.
Okay.
Do we leave our shoes at the door? How does this work?
Yeah. There's actually like shelves by the door, like little cubbies where people can put shoes. There's various sized holes, from very large holes to smaller holes, depending on how low or high you get. The larger holes tend to be higher and more out of reach for smaller people like Zippo.
Okay, so 2 questions, out of character questions. So up here, is that water in front of that building? And then these are water right here?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I just want to confirm. I have some things I want to try after we get out of this bar.
Pools.
Once we go into the bar, I will, I guess, okay that the dog is allowed to be in here.
Yeah, the dog's fine.
Okay, good. And then I'll have Brunhild start sniffing around while I just make casual conversation with the people she sniffs.
Okay. The dog's a hit. Anybody who's in there is pretty friendly with the dog. It's
Good.
Broomhild's a good dog, so she isn't like wagging her tail and knocking down people's drinks and things of that nature. Somebody even buys you a beer because Brunhild's there.
Awesome.
You have experienced this in the past when been in accompaniment with Jordan, so you've now found your own way to make free drinks.
Nice. And as I'm doing that, I'll also be like, has anybody seen a human guy, real bright red hair?
I have a friend named Pete who's got bright red hair. His whole family does.
Oh, really? Cool. And then I'll start describing Shadow as best I can. Does any of them match his description?
Based off of the description that you guys give, it's pretty much anybody who has red hair and is male could be Shadow, right? Because you didn't really see his face.
True.
He's wearing dark clothes, things of that nature. They kind of like it could be this person. Do you know their name?
I don't know. I know their nickname because that's all we really got off whenever we were talking. He likes to go by Shadow, and then the other alias is Burt Hair. Is it Burt Chest? Yeah, Burt Chest. And then whatever the other two names are.
Monty or Kippy? He's such a rascal.
Yeah, he gave it. I'm pretty sure he just was messing around in the last ones, but I know for sure he likes the Shadow one.
I don't know anybody who'd want to be named Shadow. That's just a.
Yeah, it's
just
weird,
asking
right?
for trouble.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I
Anyway,
was
could you
thinking.
possibly mark on our map where this Pete lives? Where his family lives?
I mean, I could probably bring him here for drinks later on, but I'm not just gonna show you where somebody lives.
Oh,
I don't know you from Pete.
oh,
Literally.
Belzian slides like a small coin purse with 2 gold pieces in it.
It's like, I'll gladly accept your money, sir, but he's my friend. Like, what would you do if your friend just gave up your place to live into a stranger? Like,
I'm an adventurer, so I don't really have a place to live, but I wouldn't really mind it because, most people that would come to me would be nice people anyway.
Right? I get lonely sometimes.
Yeah, it never hurts to have new friends.
Right? Strangers are just friends you haven't met yet.
Exactly. We're not strangers anyway.
Yeah, right. We're totally best friends with probably Pete.
Well, let's make sure we got the right guy. Has Pete or any of his family members just recently came back into town? Because we were following behind him. He was trying to lead us around to this town because we didn't really know how to get here ourselves. But he got ahead of us a little bit because we got stuck on the road where there were some animals were digging ditches. We had to go around it. He beat it before we did.
Separated on the way because the dog had to take a
not that I know of. Pete's family's been here all his life, just like me.
Okay, gotcha. This is probably not Pete then, so never mind.
Hmm.
Never mind. Well, it's weird. Any of you guys heard anything weird about the fountains out there?
They just always seem to be going. That's about all.
See, yeah, I know. When I went by, I'm like 80% sure something tried to pull me in, but I don't know what it was. Like, I swear to you, I think the fountains are alive.
The guy that you're talking to kind of looks at Belzian like, is he okay?
I think it's probably honestly some sort of magic. I'm a big magic fan myself too.
Well, maybe. I've never used magic myself.
And then as I'm talking, I'm gonna take the beer he bought me and shape water it into Brunhild's image.
Wow.
Like, this is my favorite trick.
I swear to God, Benji, if you throw up all over my floor from up there, you're gonna make a huge mess, and I'm not gonna be happy.
If it happens, can you film it?
He's like up on a shelf, and like if he vomits, it's gonna be like a cone of, like a cone attack, like 15-foot spread.
2d to 30 carpet damage.
Man, I hope that does not happen. Benji, are you good? All right, I think he's okay. He just kind of looks at it first with mistrust and then with wonder as like you shape it more and more into Brunhild. Wow, mister, that's pretty neat.
Thank you. Well, I think I just have to keep looking then, see if we can find my best friend, or our new friend. Not best friend. Not yet, anyway. And then I'll turn around with Brunhild and walk out the door.
Belzian will leave as well.
Bye, Mr. Kobold and his bald friend. Bye.
And as we go out, I'm like, you know what? Something has struck me. Or something just I thought about. I'm going to go up to the other fountain.
Okay.
And I'm gonna like have Brunhild sniff it and then jump into it myself.
Brunhild sniffs and like walks around the fountain in a similar fashion to when she was walking around the other fountain, kind of like with her tail up and like She's kind of like parading around it.
Nice. So, and then I'm gonna like dip my head in the aqua and holler around. You in here, Mr. Elemental?
Help me.
I know where the other half of you is if you want to come with me. I can get you out of here.
In this fountain. Help.
I can get you to your other half so you can break free.
The elemental moves closer to you. Well, I guess the piece of the elemental, the spirit,
Yeah.
Moves closer to you. The water clouds a bit around you. What are you going to do to try and?
Well, do I feel like it's like trapped here magically, or just stuck here like because its body's been torn to pieces?
Arcana check.
Okay. All right, boys. Let's hope I roll high.
Or nature, depending on what you're asking.
I'll do Arcana. I want to see if like it's bound by any spells or items, like magical feeling. Oh, yay! I just love it. So great. I got a 5, by the way, for everybody watching. It was a nat 1 on the roll.
Yeah. Yeah, not a great roll for sure. You're not sure what's keeping this elemental here, aside from the fact that you know it's weak from not being whole.
Okay, I'll put one of my empty water things in. Like, if you can get into this, I can get you to your other half right now.
So you put it. You did what?
I like my empty water jug, one of my empty water jugs. I dunk it into the water.
Okay,
and
so like a water skin?
Yeah, like a water skin, and see if it wants to try to jump into it so I can take it over to its other half.
How much does a water skin hold?
That is a good question.
An elemental.
I have, if I need more than one water skin, I can do more than one water skin. I have 5.
It does not fit in the water skin. It tries to go into it, and the water skin actually breaks.
Ooh, okay. What do we think about...
It kind of bursts it at its seams. So now you can see what a water skin looks like from the inside. It looks like it's made out of polished hide on the inside. That's been like treated with something.
Hang on 1 second here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm Okay, let's see here. Do I feel like a sack would be able to hold the water? Because I can reach into my robe of useful items and pull out a sack. That's like one of the base items. I haven't rolled for the rest of them yet.
Yeah, we should probably, when we rest for the night, roll those, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Whenever that is. That might not even be today at this point.
Yeah.
I would say that a sack wouldn't hold water.
A sack can hold 1 cubic foot or 30 pounds of gear.
Right. But a sack would also
Leak
either tear or leak.
Okay.
Belzian has a barrel in his inventory.
Oh, I forgot you have a barrel. You're my savior.
Would this help?
It's a smaller barrel though, right? Like
No, it's Donkey Kong sized.
so it's not in your inventory, right? Like it's something that you've carried around in your carriage, which is at the barracks, right?
It just says barrel.
Oh, I haven't been in...
Put stuff in the barrel. But, no. It's whatever
If I remember correctly...
you feel necessary, Mr. DM.
Yeah, so if it's the one that you're pocketing, it'll be like the barrel I bought to age whiskey. If it's a larger barrel, it would be something that you'd carry in the cart.
Okay, 2 questions. Do I have a barrel in my genie ring still? I don't remember if we left those in there, if we took one out.
I
remember
feel
we
like
took out
all of
some.
your explosives barrels have been utilized.
Oh yeah, because
one
we
got
took them out
left
because we were like,
at
yeah, that's
where
right.
the shadow the shadow lantern was, and you left it there, and then the other one you were carrying but dropped.
Gotcha. That's
And it
right. I forgot
exploded.
about that. Okay, so if that's the case, then my second question will probably be the more useful one. Can I shape water to freeze the water around the water elemental to pull it out of the water?
I'm going to say that would first of all, how much water can you shape at one time?
Let me double check the reading here. I can do a 5-foot cube of water. It says I can cast the spell multiple times, but I can have no more than 2 effects each time. So, like, if I freeze the water, like I can do like 10 feet cubes.
Shade, rules question for you. A tiny creature occupies a 5-foot square still?
Technically, yes, but 2 creatures can occupy the same square if they are 2 sizes different.
Okay. Zippo, here's what I'm going to say. You can shape water around the elemental, but if you freeze it, it's not going to work.
Dang it.
You would have to transport the elemental as liquid using shape water and walk it across to the other.
Oh, if I can do that, then yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, it would basically be like water bending.
Yes, I love it.
You're
So
basically
is the
taking a
Avatar.
5-foot square. You're draining a portion of the fountain, and basically scooping it up because it's occupying that 5-foot square. It can be transported in that way.
Sweet.
Now, I'm saying this because it's important. This generally would not be how this can be used, but because of the nature of this creature being water, this works. Okay, does that make sense?
Yep, gotcha.
So, like, you wouldn't be able to take a normal tiny creature and carry them in waters places, but because it's water,
Yeah. Gotcha. It's like I'm I'm blood bending essentially.
Kind of, but you're not affecting the creature itself, just the water around it.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
So, think of like if you took all the water around Momo and carried Momo around from Avatar.
Kind of like when he's like in the Avatar state under the water, he forms all the water around him so they can move through it. Yeah. Gotcha. Perfection. All my dreams are coming true. And I have the mold earth, and I normally use fire and lightning. Oh, I just need to bend air. That could be the Avatar.
I
guys.
mean, listen, you already are bending air, remember? You fly. You got the storm sorcery.
Not yet, I don't. Oh, yeah, technically, yeah, I do. That's right. That's perfect. Oh, my God. my character is now the Avatar. That's just great.
The Kolbatar.
When my people needed me most, I vanished.
All right, so you spend some time to gather the water around this piece of elemental and lift it out of the water. Water is, siphoning off of it in small drips as you start levitating it. You're Belzian, since Zippo's kind of lost in this action and like fully concentrating his efforts, this is the first time you've seen Zippo like this concentrated, probably. Like I would assume Zippo, you're like putting everything into this task, right?
Yeah, like I am zoned out on everything. Like he could be talking to me right now, and I wouldn't even be paying attention. I'm just focusing on getting this thing to the rest of its body.
So, needless to say, Belzian, this is drawing a lot of attention of people walking around the area. There are several guards that are approaching as Zippo begins walking the water across the center of the city to the other side. I would say you're moving at like 5 feet around while you're doing this. Like, you're very carefully doing this.
Yep, gotcha.
But so as this is happening, Belzian, what are you doing to either assist Zippo or like what are you doing with this?
Belzian is gaining more respect for Zippo by the second, but also assisting by like keeping people away from this giant stream of water that's going down the middle of the Forens district. Generally being cheerful, like, friends reunited. This is amazing. I don't know why everyone else doesn't think this is amazing.
As soon as the water elemental is moved 5 feet from the fountain stops flowing. It no longer is erupting in a glorious burst of water. The fountain grows still. And the elemental is still being transported. So whether the fountain's been drained of enough water that it's no longer able to flow, or if something else happened, here we are.
Huh.
So the soldiers at this point have approached, and what seems to be going on here?
Well, you see, Belzian very poorly explains the water elemental situation. So it needs to go from point A to point B, so it can be reunited with itself, and, not cause catastrophe to the city.
Listen, this is public water here. You can't just be taking all of this water for yourself.
Oh, it's not for me. I drink plenty of water on my own time. This is for everybody.
Well, look, the fountain's broken. What have you done?
I don't know. Do I look like a fountain master? Like, isn't there some kind of maintenance city worker who maintains these things? You might want to look into that. Perhaps they're slacking.
Where are you taking this water? Where's this kobold taking this water?
Belzian just points.
And they're kind of like all like waving their arms and like trying to get the kobold's attention and like, and whatnot. Zippa, do you react at all?
If it doesn't break my concentration to get him over, I'm just going to tell him, leave your questions till the end. I can answer them later. I'm busy right now.
Hold your applause till the very end. There will be a question and an answer period later, perhaps. Give it a second.
Not wanting to interrupt Zippo and have all the water be lost on the ground, the soldiers kind of keep pace with the both of you and watch as Zippo begins heading to the other side in the other fountain. And when they realize that he's taking water from one fountain to the other, they grow confused, but less concerned.
Belzian uses small talk. So, how's working here? Lovely city you've got.
They small talk right back, and basically this is the most interesting thing that's happened all day. Zippo, you make it to the other fountain, and what do you do with the water? Are you dropping it in slowly, dumping it? Like how what are you doing?
I'll like, once I get close enough, I'll let the water elemental know in the water elemental in the one fountain that I didn't take it from that's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, you can come out. I found your other half. And then I'll slowly start pouring it in there.
Okay. The spirit breaks through the water bubble that you've made for it and into the fountain immediately. There's a swirling sensation, and the fountain kind of bursts up, and it's a higher fount. And the voice is a little stronger and it says, "Please find the rest of me."
How much more of there is you?
Don't know.
Fudge. Alright, I'm gonna go up to the guards now. Like, look, I'm doing a rescue mission right now, not just for this water elemental, but for this town. Take me to everywhere that has, like, water in this fashion. We need to stop this before it destroys this city.
They grow alarmed at this. And they want more information. What do you mean? What do you mean it's going to destroy
Look,
the city?
I personally had a conversation with the water elemental. It says if I can get the rest of it back here before it has time to break free and find the rest of it itself, I can get it to leave peacefully. But if not, it will cause havoc. And I assumed cause havoc meant to destroy part of the city. Which I'm sure is something your guards don't want. It's something I don't want to happen. So if we can get this settled quickly rather than later, we can solve this whole problem like it never happened.
Well, there's 7 fountains in the city, but you're only going to be able to have access to 6 of them. The 2 here on this level, the lows have 2, and then the gold district has 2.
Where's the 7th?
The palace.
We need to get away to get into the palace and get that out. I don't care what you need to get me through there. You need to get me through there. That's probably where it will pop out, mostly. That's, I'm assuming, the most place you want to keep safe. We have to solve this quick.
Well, you're going to have to talk to someone higher than us for that.
Okay, I'm going to think in my ring, or I'm going to think to myself, through my ring. Ulrich, do you have a way you can get me into the palace?
Why the hell do you need to go down?
I'm saving the water elemental. It's in every single fountain in this town. I've got it, like 2 pieces of it. There's 7 fountains. One's in the palace. It's the only one I won't be able to get to. So you're going to have to hopefully pull some strings to get me in there to get it out there so we can get to leave peacefully.
Yeah, all right. I'll work on that right now. And Ulrich is turning around. He was heading to the Flames of Jane, and he's now heading back to Marius.
And then as we do that, I'm going to talk with the guards afterwards. Like, I have something in the works that will get me in there because I know a guy, But I need you to help me clear out the city as much as possible so my path isn't blocked so I can try to get the rest of the water elementals together.
There.
Or if you can bring me a bunch of barrels, that will also, like, big barrels.
That they can do. They seem very dubious about evacuating the city, and they're not even sure if they completely believe what you're telling them. But they do say that they can probably get you a barrel or 2, and one of them goes off to do that, and the other one kind of goes back to their post at the staircase, but is watching you most of the time. Like, keeps is doing the scan and watch type thing.
Gotcha. And then as they go off, I'm gonna look to most. Can you carry 2 barrels?
Who are you
What?
talking to?
To Belzia.
Okay.
Oh, I could probably carry 3.
Sweet. Okay, good. So, plan here. We're gonna go to the lows, get those 2 in the barrels, bring them up, drop them off. Go to the gold, get those 2 in the barrels, bring them back, drop them off, and then hopefully by that time, Ulrich will have us away into the palace so we can get in there with the last barrel, get it, bring it back, drop it off.
Ulrich, I will say this: you don't find the flames of Jane. The flames of Jane find you. Roger has his methods. I'm sure in the past you've relied on Roger for that. Generally, he's your point of contact for them instead of the other way around. You have met with them before here in the city. I assume that you were both assigned in Jane to each other, but it's been a while since then, and that was that is probably not their headquarters that you met them at. So
Yeah, that makes sense.
You went off to like with purpose to find the Flames of Jane, and then you're like, wait a minute.
What the hell am I doing?
Yeah, and then you went back to Mary's.
Yeah.
So I will say this: Marius is working on giving you at least partial access to some of the palace, since you brought this to his attention and you're working to assist. So there is that potential that you'll all have access to at least the public areas of the castle, which have been a little bit more restricted now that the celebration is tomorrow. There's like an invite list and things like that you've basically been put on, or will be put on today for tomorrow. That means that you potentially will have access after today, but that will take some time to get the access and all the things in order. So probably by tomorrow morning, you'll be able to have access to the public areas of the castle, including the Royal Library, Delzian. All right. So one of the guards come back with a barrel for Zippo and says, "This is the biggest I could find." And it's big enough for Belzian to carry it, but no other barrels. Like it's an actual water barrel. So it would probably fit the a tiny water elemental, but nothing larger than that.
Does it feel like it'd be like a one water elemental at a time?
Yes.
Or can I? Okay, all right, that's fine. Because Belzian can run a lot faster than I can anyway.
And with that, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go back to Roger.
Yeah, go ahead.
Very cool.
Perfect.
All right, Roger.
So quick out of character question.
Yes.
Has Ulrich pointed out that we probably need to reach out to the Flames of Jane, to Roger, in secret over the rings?
He was about to do that when Zippo came in.
That can happen now. One of the nice things about the rings is that we can kind of merge timelines at points in this way.
Yeah. So he does that then.
All right. I'll pass on the information about the two pubs I've been at in the Copper District. That I'll be doing the upper class districts later today. And go set out and look for my secret society contact.
Okay. Funnily enough, you are led to following the signs that you normally follow. The meeting place for Flames of Jane for today is the Pointless Pub.
Ooh, high class.
So to point out where the Pointless Pub is, it is here on the map in the Gold District. So it's actually the only round building in Jane.
Exciting. Oh, well. Go there dressed as I am, I guess. As I don't think it's been enough time for my suit to be tailored.
You've got about an hour left on it. Yeah.
Well, I'll I guess go there and discreetly light the blue candle or whatever it was from last time.
Yeah, so you don't actually... you don't actually need to light a blue candle in this place, because the flames in the establishment, in all the lanterns, are actually blue. So the Pointless Pub is far from pointless. It's actually currently where the Flames of Jane are operating out of. As you sit down, the establishment is currently empty aside from a bartender. There's nobody else in the pub at the moment. Every once in a while, like as you sit and wait for somebody to come and speak with you, if somebody comes in, the flames are actually changed back to a normal color until they leave. So you wait about an hour or so, and somebody enters the pub that the lights do not change for, and they sit down next to you.
Noon. Looking for a person. We've got the date that they would have entered the city and a couple of possible aliases. Pull up the list of names again so I can say them all. Bert Chesk, Montgomery Daytaker, and Kippy New.
Kippy New.
Kippy New.
Yeah.
We believe that they might be aliases for Shadow from the Shades of Retribution. One of them. Obviously not all three.
Do you have any information on the Shades?
Ulrich and I looted a hideout of theirs near New Pod. Seems they had some plans to take over that town. We armed the villagers there as best we could with what we took from their encampment. Burned the rest to the ground. They had some plans to do something in the city tomorrow. Ulrich has been talking to Marius, the captain of the guard, about the exact details. We recovered the device that we got plans for back in Ari. If that information has been passed along.
What about the plans from Ari?
We recovered the device.
Got it. Yeah. So you let them know about the globe, basically.
And I will tell them about the rings too. In making sure to mention that there are 4 that are unaccounted for as part of the set that we believe belong, that are in the hands of the Shades.
I think the globe would be of good use with the Flames of Jane. Would you be able to hand it over at the moment?
Pretty sure Ulrich has it.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, I say Ulrich has it. Frankly, he's got bigger pockets than me, and it's a lot harder to overpower.
How about the rings?
We found them pretty useful. As far as our magical experts could determine, the communication is deliberate, so we can't be eavesdropped on by the other ring users. We can just send information to people we know who happen to have them on. I think there are 2 that aren't being used. Perhaps we could leave those with you if you wanted to study them.
Do you have those rings, Amethyst, or is that also with Ulrich?
I'm pretty sure Ulrich has literally all of the stuff.
Okay.
That's right.
I don't carry anything. So if I get, mugged on my way here or on my way out, nothing I have ties me to you.
Well, giving us one of the rings would at least allow us to communicate without having to meet rudimentarily like this.
I can arrange to have one brought here later today.
It'd be worth studying. I'm not sure if we will be able to copy the magic, but it would be definitely of use, especially if, and I assume you kind of explained the whole dynamic of the ring and the globe.
Yeah, we'll explain. I'll explain everything that Roger knows about the situation, all of the plans,
Okay.
and the hideouts.
So you don't
the
hold
sketches.
anything back at all?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Cool.
Frankly, if these guys are evil and are trying to kill the king, there is nothing I can do to stop them. So I have to assume that it's okay and that I can tell them everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna let them know everything down to the details that they had sketches of the party, and the picture of the scepter and the burned book and all of that.
This evening, we might call upon you. Do you know where you're staying yet?
Not yet. I'll have that information by the time I come back here with the ring.
Rather than waiting, you can leave it with him. And he motions to the person at the bar, who doesn't seem to be listening to you at all. Like, can I have a perception?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's my natural 2. The result of 10 though.
He doesn't seem to hear either of you talking. At least he's not reacting to any words. You know what I mean? He kind of is just casually wiping down the bar and looking around and smiling at seemingly no one and things like that.
I'll do that then. We also think that there might be a mole in the city guard somewhere, someone that's leaked the guard patrols, or perhaps somebody who's directly responsible for stealing the guard patrols and is intending to use them himself.
We suspected as much. Shades have been more active lately. You might even see some symbols for Gerard around the city. The king is not happy.
Understandable. I will report back later with shiny metal objects and promise of a thing to do. Is there anything else you have for me?
Is there anything you need?
It would be nice to be able to see in magical darkness. Shadow could make magical darkness the last time we encountered.
You might find something like that at a local magic shop. Depending on what the price is, we might be able to assist with that price.
I'll take a look.
All right.
Thank you and goodbye.
Yeah, he was not as forthcoming with information as Marius was, but that's not something you probably didn't. That's probably something you expected.
The nature of Roger's relationship with the Flames of Jane is he gives them information, and sometimes they give him money.
Right.
I guess I'm gonna go to the magic shop. You know what? I'm gonna ring Zippo. Hey Zippo, where was that magic shop you guys were going to?
It moves around all the time. Like the guy doesn't have a set location. His building teleports.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, I've got a coupon if you think that'll help you.
Yeah, we also have a coupon if you want to come to us.
I was
Or
going
his
to give
magic
it to
shop.
Marvin, but you can have it.
I'm going to go pick up my suit first, but yes, I'll happily meet you somewhere.
All right, if you happen to go by any water fountain and have a barrel, pick up the water elemental in it, please.
You are greatly overestimating the strength of my arms, Zippo.
Fair enough. You probably can't even speak to it.
I could definitely talk to the water. If whether the water will understand.
Oh, so you can-
the interaction will be meaningful in any way. This is another story.
As you said, I can talk to the water. Zippo will start talking in Aquan. I'm just rambling off like, oh, so you can understand what I'm saying? That's cool. That's good to know somebody else can.
Just gonna close the connection while he starts doing that.
So when Zippo tries to talk to you in Aquan, it sounds like all of a sudden Zippo has started drowning.
I'm not even surprised.
One of those moments when you go to the bathroom but you forget to turn your mic off. Like, Zippo, come on.
All right, so you go back to the gold. Well, I guess yeah. So you're at the gold district already. So you go and pick up your suit. The dark green is embroidered with silver thread in the shape of leaf work. Along the lapel and on the shoulders, as well as along the guard where the slit is, where your sword might fit.
I'll thank them, pay them their 25 gold, and take my exorbitantly expensive piece of clothing.
Okay.
And I'm not going to change it to it yet.
After all that.
Nope. So go looking for the magic shop in the forens.
Okay, so you go down the forens to look for both Zippo and the magic shop, or just the magic shop?
I'm going to look for the magic shop. If I see Zippo, I'll go over and say hi to Zippo. But I'm going to look for the magic shop.
Roll me a percentage to see if you catch Zippo in the midst of his search. And Zippo, where are you going next to collect your water?
I'm going to go to the bottom, the
I
closest
thought
ones.
so. Yeah, so you might miss each other. You do.
30.
Yeah.
It's for the best.
Okay. So you ask around to a distracted guard at the stairs who's like looking off in the distance like he's seen some shit today. And I'm sorry, what? And what were you asking?
Do you know where I could find a magic shop?
Yeah, I think there's a place called Carl's down that way, and he points in this direction here.
I'll walk off in that direction.
Okay. So you get to the area that he describes, which is at the end of this block. You see this building and you see this building, but there's no building between them.
All right.
Nice green patch of grass.
Is there a note on the ground?
There
It's a good
is.
question. I'll pick up the note.
Okay. The note says, "Dear Carl, Zippo is sad."
I know for a fact Zippo can't read, so this has to have been Belzian.
Zippo is
Where
now
would-
sad. Signed Zippo. Yeah.
Yeah. Where would they have gone if this didn't? To the exact opposite side. I'm gonna walk to the exact opposite side of the forest.
Okay. The exact opposite side is a familiar scene. It is the area where you, just about where you were at the barracks to search for, the search through the ledger. So it's, if you're looking for the exact building that's mirrored, which would be about here, there is a building there, but it is not marked as Carl's.
I'll just look around the area.
Okay. There's a few different warehouses and different companies in this area, as well as one or two establishments. This building here is one of your taverns that we've named. So that one is called Pub's Pub.
I like magic's magic. Pub's pub. But no magic shops.
No, not in this area, no.
So I'm just gonna keep wandering around and looking for one until I find one.
Okay, are you going to look at a
Somewhere
different
else.
district or stay in Foreigns?
We'll check the copper district, I guess.
Okay. So the guards on the Copper District seem sure that there has been a shop once or twice on this district that they know of. It's located here. So, like, if you came up these stairs, I assume, to get to the Copper District, so it's just around the block. And sure enough, there is a building there. In brightly colored letters, Laurels occasionally. With an L.
Sounds reasonable. I'm sure the guard just got the name. Well, I'll go ahead and open the door to the shop and walk in.
Okay. Inside is a wiry-looking chap with whitish blonde hair jutting out from a leather cap and goggles, and he says, "Hello, welcome to Laurel's. How can I help you, sir?"
Howdy, I come here on the recommendation of a friend of mine. Though I did have a little trouble finding the place. Do you have something that would let me see in magical darkness?
Let me think here. And he starts scanning through different areas. And I'm trying to think if there's already an item in existence that does just that.
Be a shade question, not a me question.
Something else. So there's as far as items, I'm racking my brain. I know there's feats and class features and things like that, but something that would give you true sight should do it.
Invocation such should be double sight is one.
Yeah, that's from the
Something that
warlocks.
possesses
Yeah,
a form of blind sight.
yeah, that's actually a good point. You won't see through it, but you'd have blind sight. That would be good.
Armor of Shadows, cast mage armor at will, which might be better than using your wisdom for. Oh no. Eldritch Sight can detect magic at will. Eyes of the Runekeeper allows you to read anything. No, that's not.
I think those are all. But as
yeah.
far as items, though, is the only thing.
Yeah, I'm trying to find something. Can you see through items to see in magical darkness? There isn't one in the DMG for seeing through magical darkness. Specifically, there's a gem of seeing which gives you true sight. You can see through magical darkness with that, but the gem only allows you to see it for 10 minutes, and you have to peer through the gem, which means one of your hands is occupied. Your best bet is to take a 2-level dip into Warlock.
Yeah.
Nope,
not doing that.
If you need somebody to recommend you, I've got you.
Wait, can Zippo see in magical darkness? He's got at least 2 levels in Warlock, right?
I've got 3 levels in it.
I think it's a warlock thing and some monks. But other than the gem, I don't see anything immediately available.
Well, True Sight's cool and all. I don't know if you need that.
Goggles of Night, which give regular dark vision, are uncommon.
I already have dark vision.
Yeah, that's different.
Yep.
An item that could let you see magical darkness would be a rare magic item.
Or if something that gives you blind sight.
The spell Daylight counters darkness, right?
Yes.
Is that still... So maybe something...
Like you could do a Wand of Daylight or something like that, maybe? Or
yeah, but I can't actually use it.
Yeah, unless you take the Thief, which took the Assassin, right? So
Yeah, I'm an assassin, not on
right.
Arcane Trickster.
Yeah.
There's no way Zippo's going to take time off of casting fire spells to make an artificial sun. Just for light. With no heat.
But a drift globe though, because I don't think you need to be a particular class to use that magic item.
No, I think Drift Globe you can use whatever as long as you have the Drift Globe and you know its activation word.
So while Carl is looking around his shop and thinking, he says, "I don't think I have anything like that at the moment, but I've never had a problem I couldn't solve one way or another. I might need some time to make it, though. Or maybe combine two things to do essentially what you're asking. What is money an object for you, sir?" He looks you up and down. I'm not one to judge. I just... what's your price range here?
I have no idea what to expect from my employer, who may be covering part of this, but I only have about 700 gold to my name, so if it's significantly more than that, then I probably can't afford it.
Well, one thing I will say is if it's something that allows you to see. It might have to be glasses of some sort. But do you need to see with both eyes? I only ask because I'd have to enchant 2 lenses, and that will significantly increase the price, if you see what I'm saying.
I mean, if I can see with one eye, it'll make my depth perception worse, but probably not that much worse for hand-to-hand combat.
Well, I might even be able to do something where... Are you looking to just see through it, or do you want to get rid of the shadows, or...
Getting rid of it's fine. Seeing through it is fine. Honestly, getting rid of it may be better. I just don't know at what distance. Possibly close range. Maybe long range.
He walks back to his counter and looks at a lantern that is on his desk. And he studies it for a moment and he says, maybe. Do a perception check, or a history check for me, please.
History.
No, actually, never mind. Scratch that. Never mind.
Not history.
Yeah, don't do anything. Yeah, he looks at the lantern for a bit and says, "Yes, that may work. Come back tomorrow. I'll think on that over the night, and I will do what I can. Should you not be able to pay me for it, well, at least I'll have made something of it. Somebody else might be interested."
And where can I find you tomorrow?
Oh, around. He gives you a knowing smile.
Alrighty. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Warl.
But of course, and you are?
My friends call me Roger, usually.
Well, what should I call you?
You can call me Roger.
Ah, so we're friends then. Excellent. Well met, Roger. My friends call me Carl.
Well met, Carl. Well, bye.
So as you are exiting the shop, he is looking at the lantern again, and he lifts it up and disappears from view as darkness engulfs him. And then in a 30-foot radius, and then he closes it again.
It's like the opposite. I guess I'll try and meet up with Ulrich now, since I'm already in the area.
Okay, so you're in the Copper District. Ulrich is in Foreign's District, so you go back down to meet up with him. Okay. Ulrich, through the contact of your ring and whatnot, you and Roger find each other on the stairs leading down from Copper District on the left-hand side.
I thought you meant the top of the stairs, not the bottom of the stairs.
And
I've
here we
climbed
are
up and
awkwardly
down.
in the middle.
I know. I appreciate you coming at me. You have any luck with the Flames of Jane?
In a way, I'll communicate telepathically since that's an option.
Yeah. Yeah, he just straight up asked.
Yep. And I'll
That's their personalities in a nutshell.
everything's caged and cautious and I don't think this is going to, or well, maybe. And then Auricus is, so how is talking with the spy?
He's having a real dumb day.
Well, Ulrich, they want the globe, and they want the rings to study. I told them the ones we were wearing were pretty useful, and we'd like to keep them.
I just remembered the other two are around Brunhild's neck, by the way.
Oh, that's right. They are actually.
Because I made her a necklace of them.
Yep, you did do that. Yeah. So,
but it may also be convenient for us to give them one of the rings so that we can have long distance contact with them.
right.
I will
He's thinking
remind
this-
you about the rings that you have to be within a mile to communicate.
Right.
Just as a heads up.
So, right. But they'll
Even
be able to
city.
track us, sort of. So, I mean, yeah, they're the bosses. I gotta say, I was kind of hoping we could keep the globe so we could track down the ring bearers. That is. Do you get the feeling that we're getting the runaround from everyone in this city?
No, I mean, aside from the magic shop, which I literally had to run around the city to find, and from Zippo, who wouldn't tell me where it was. But
I don't know. Just maybe it's just more punishment for me picking the wrong side of the damn war. Look, I'm fine with giving the globe, and we're gonna have to track down Zippo and his dog. Get one of the rings off it. Maybe two of them. I guess we don't really need a spare.
perhaps we can see what to do with them. I did only promise one.
All right. Well, there you go. If you made a promise to one, we only give them one.
They also said they had a job for me later this evening.
All right. Well, you just point me in the right direction of who to beat, and I'll do it.
Sounds like a deal. How was your talk with the guard?
Marius is he's a bit frustrated, but he wasn't entirely surprised by any of this. A little more surprised that they seem to have pretty accurate plans of the castle and the guard routine, but he didn't give two licks about showing him the scepter diagram. Didn't seem to care about that. And he's gonna, I guess Zippo's dealing with his water elemental. We're gonna go into the palace tomorrow. Hopefully, before anything pops off. But I don't know. I can't help it. I got no real reason to think this. I just got a weirdest feeling that maybe I made the wrong call with Marius. He was real keen to know the names of all of, who all was traveling with me, which I don't know, just seemed kind of strange. So I did tell him 3 false names.
What'd you call me this time?
Oh no, I called you Roger. If I'm going down, you're going down too, you son of a bitch. But I
Bold words.
Well, what can I say, cowpoke? But I did tell him we had 3 half-orc triplets running with us. Some fun names, but
As
I
long
don't
as
know.
I don't get assigned to any guard patrols with any half-orc triplets that don't exist.
I mean,
They're the ones that always keep
probably.
watch when nobody else is, right?
Right. I'll make sure that you're not alone.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Ah, well. You're more or less family at this point.
I don't know. My stance here is that if the captain of the guard and the secret assassin society are both out to kill the king, we have absolutely no way to prevent that from happening. And us letting them know that we're aware that there's a plot does not change the outcome.
That is true. That is
Uh,
true. And like I said, I got no real reason to think this. Just it's got something itching in the back of my skull.
Marius doesn't have like bright red hair and dark clothing, does
No,
he?
no. But I did tell him about Shadow and the aliases and how it can change its face. Like it's definitely a shapeshifter of some sort, right?
No.
What? What do you mean, no?
Are you getting him confused with the doppelganger that we definitely killed?
No, I remember the one we definitely killed. I thought he was another doppelganger, damn it.
No. He could just like walk through walls or something.
God damn it. This whole time I thought that fucker was a doppelganger.
Oh. Now you know.
Yeah,
I mean, he could still
well,
be. We just have no proof of it.
I mean, if he was, it was a cold shot and I knew it all along. But if he wasn't, this conversation never happened. Also, I definitely called you an elf and Belzian a half elf when they asked.
Ulrich has such a guilty conscience.
I would say this isn't the first time I've heard that today, but that actually is the first time I've heard that today. And I'm not going to ask
Yeah,
any more questions.
there you go.
Shall we find the rest of our group? Maybe set up lodgings for the evening.
Yeah, we should do that and see what the hell this is about this water elemental.
Zippo thinks I can speak to the water elemental, by the way. Do not disabuse of this notion.
All right, all right, all right. Hey. If you can get him to jump into the water, like convince him that's what the water elemental's doing, just like roll around in the water. I got 5 gold with your name on it.
I'll see what I can do.
All right.
All right. Zippo and Belzian, you have gotten down to I'm assuming the rightmost fountain, or are you going to the leftmost fountain down in the lows?
Right first, left second.
Okay, so the right one, you basically all but drain the fountain to get the elemental in. I mean, it's now very shallow, and it stopped fountaining as well.
These fountains look smaller than the other ones.
They're much smaller, yeah. They're about as big as the centerpiece in the larger fountains. The water is also a darker, greener, more algae-like color.
That's fine.
Not
I
like-
don't care about the city or the fountains. I just want a water elemental friend. I'm building up a strong bond right now.
All right.
That will come in handy later.
You slip the water elemental into the barrel using shape water. And Belzian, you are urged by Zippo to transport this thing. Are you good with that?
Elzian's just holding this barrel.
Okay.
He's just so happy to be like helpful.
You do so. You get it all the way up to Forn's district. The guard is looking nervously at you guys like he's regretting having been a part of this at all. Like he's afraid that like he did something wrong here. Like that this is gonna come back to haunt him.
As I see him like looking outside, I'm like, don't worry. Once this is all over with and we're hailed as heroes, I'll make sure you get a promotion.
Okay.
What's your name, son?
Luke.
Jerry. Got it.
He looks even more concerned now. Like he was like slightly like abated, and then you called him Jerry, and he's just like now he's like, oh God, what have I done? You reunite the third piece with the water elemental, which the fountain is now spraying even higher, and the water is actually kind of spiraling a bit in like a little bit of a circle.
Like in the air or like in
the water in the fountain.
As I put the third one, I'm like, all right, I got 4 more to go, bud. I'll be back with them.
As you're heading back down to the lows, I assume this is probably when Ulrich and Roger are messaging the both of you.
Zippo, I need you to stop walking to the Home Depot.
What? Oh.
Or the Lowe's.
As they have messaged me, I'm like, look, find a barrel, be useful. Stop doing nothing and twiddling your thumbs.
Roger, do you have inspiration?
Probably not, no.
Well, you do now.
Awesome. Zippo, I need to speak to Brunhild.
She's busy helping me like the rest of you should be doing so we can save this stupid city you care so much about.
Whoa, hold up. Who said I cared about the city?
I just assumed since this is where you're from, right?
No.
Oh, anyway, help me save my friend.
Sure.
I need you to find somebody burly with a barrel.
Ulrich is with me.
Yeah,
Perfect.
We're coming to you.
Okay, we're going to be in the Lowe's district at the left fountain.
We're like 20 feet away from each other.
All right, aisle 13, Ulrich. Let's
Talking
go.
rings.
all right. Hey, Zippo, as I'm walking.
Yeah.
Can you just explain a little bit about what's so... Like, has this water elemental told you anything specific, or
Just that it needed to get out of the fountains and that it was in pain, and if it got enough strength to break out itself, it would not be a good thing.
Oh, wait a second here. It's in pain. Is it gaining strength on its own, or are you helping it gain strength?
Right now, I'm hoping it become whole again. It was split into 7 different parts. How would you feel if you got split into 7 different parts? Probably not good.
I agree with you, but can you repeat what you said to me just a moment ago? That if it gains strength, it'll destroy the city.
If I didn't help it, that was the thing you missed out on. It said if it got its strength by itself, it would destroy the city.
All right, so it's essentially giving you a kind of a fairy tale of if I'm able to break out of this prison on my own, oh boy, you better watch out. But if you just let me out,
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, from the way that I've seen these things work so far, I'm guessing it was the city that decided to trap the water elemental heal to make it look cool. So to be fair, even if it gets out and destroys part of it, they kind of deserved it.
Well,
What if the water elemental was a dick? What if it didn't like dogs?
I'm pretty sure it likes dogs.
So here's the thing. Actually, DM, before I say this, when I was getting Marius's help to get into the castle, I surely explained to him that this was part of the whole dealing with the water elemental thing, but he only gave me until sundown today. Does that still stand? Since I can't get into the castle till tomorrow.
He didn't renegotiate that offer.
All right. Well, here's the thing. We're gonna have to move all of the water elemental out of a fountain and put it into something in our control, like a big barrel. I don't know how big this thing is.
Each piece of it is taking a full barrel, and I have 3 pieces together, almost 4 right now.
All right. Well, we're just gonna have to get all the barrels. It can't be brought together whole in one barrel. And I'm hesitant to bring it together inside the castle. So I think we just need to,
But why do we need to move it if we're getting the pieces together?
Because the city watch might know about it, and they might be coming to kill it. And I only was able to negotiate till sundown, so...
No, that one guy, Jerry, he seemed pretty cool with it.
Yeah, well, Jerry doesn't have quite the clout that, Marius does, since he controls the whole damn guard.
So when we find lodging for tonight, maybe we could find a room with a really big bathtub.
And with that, Jordan messages the group and says, guys, is this thing on? Can you guys hear me?
Hey, Jordan.
No, we can't hear you.
Oh,
So, Jordan,
it works.
how fast can you get me out of the city if I kill a captain of the guard?
Zippo, guys.
Well, I don't know about that, but I came to message that I've gotten us lodging at the Golden, at the what is it? Oh, and let me look at the sign. The Majestic Apples.
Sounds good.
I still need an ETA on escape plans, Jordan.
Well, I out the front entrance would be the best way to escape the city, I would say.
Okay.
Why would you want what? I guess you'll have to fill me in, but
So,
I'll meet you.
TLDR, I'm saving a water elemental, which the captain of the guard wants to kill, but won't let me save it completely anyway, because he's a douchebag and just needs to fall on all these stairs and break every single bone in his stupid body.
Zippo, he's gonna help us. We're getting into the castle tomorrow.
But if he set the deadline to a thing he knew was unreachable for us, that's not help. That's taunting.
No. I'm just saying we just need to remove all of them, put them all in a barrel. They don't need to all be inside a...
They're not separating once I done put them together. That's just not possible. They're not going to agree.
Yeah, well... Wait, have you dumped them back into the fountain yet?
Yes, I've been doing it one at a time. I only have one barrel.
Oh, damn it.
And we're gonna end session on that comment. Oh, damn it. So we will see you guys in 2 weeks, where we will see if we can solve the solution of the solvent in the Foreign's district, and more mysteries afoot, both real, imagined, and otherwise. So what's real, what's not, we'll find out. But lots going on in Jane. So see you guys next time. 2 weeks from today would be the 30th?
Yep.
Is everybody good with the 30th?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So everybody out there in Twitchland, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time at 7-ish on the 30th, which is a Tuesday. And everybody have a great night. Be safe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.